In this video, I will explain how to solve absolute value equations. So let's go ahead and check out a few examples. Let's say we have the absolute value of x is equal to 10. So we want to solve for x. What values of x would make this expression true? Well, recall that when we have absolute value signs like this, whatever is inside the absolute value signs automatically becomes positive. So if x was equal to 10, the absolute value of 10 is just 10. So that would be one possible solution for x. But if we also had x is negative 10, well, the absolute value of negative 10 is also equal to 10. So in this case, there are two solutions that would make this expression true. We could have x is equal to 10, or we could have x is equal to negative 10. Both of these x values would make this expression true. Let's check out another example. Let's say we have the absolute value of 2x minus 5 is equal to 3. So we want to solve for x again to figure out what values of x can we plug in here to make this expression true. So the way that we can do that is we can say 2x minus 5 is equal to 3, and we can solve for x. And we can also say 2x minus 5 is equal to negative 3 and also solve for x. Because if this whole expression inside the absolute value signs is equal to negative 3, the absolute value of negative 3 is equal to 3. So let's go ahead and solve for x in both of these. So to solve for x on this one, we can add a 5 to each side. Plus 5 plus 5. So we're left with 2x is equal to 3 plus 5. That's 8. Now to solve for x, we can just divide each side by 2. That leaves us with x is equal to 8 divided by 2. That's 4. Now over here, to solve for x, we can add a 5 to each side. And we get 2x is equal to negative 3 plus 5. That's positive 2. And to solve for x, we can divide each side by 2. So we're left with x is equal to 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So there are two solutions. X is equal to 4 or x is equal to 1. If we plug in either of these numbers into this expression, it will be true. So suppose we plugged in x is equal to 4 into this expression. We would have 2 times 4 minus 5 is equal to 3. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 5, the absolute value of 3 is equal to 3. So that is correct. Now let's try plugging in x is equal to 1. We would have 2 times 1 minus 5 is equal to 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 5, that's a negative 3. Negative 3. So the absolute value of negative 3 is a positive 3. So that also checks out. All right, let's check out another example. Let's say we have 5 times the absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3 is equal to 13. So we want to figure out what values of x make this expression true. Well, we want to start by first isolating these absolute value signs. So the way that we can do that is we can subtract a 3 from each side, and we'll be left with 5 times the absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to, over here we have 13 minus 3, that's 10. And to get these absolute value signs all by themselves, we just need to get rid of this 5. So we can divide each side by 5. So these cancel out. We're left with the absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now we can try to solve and figure out what values of x make this expression true. So recall, we can just set this left-hand side equal to 2, and we can also set the left-hand side equal to a negative 2. So let's solve for x. To solve for x on this one, we can add a 2 to each side. We get x is equal to 2 plus 2, that's just 4. And in this equation, to solve for x, we can also add a 2 to each side, plus 2, and we'll be left with x is equal to negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So we have two solutions, x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 0. If we plug in either of these values into this original expression, it will be true. Okay, let's try one last example. Let's say we have the absolute value of x minus 4 is equal to -7. So recall, whatever we have inside of these absolute value signs, it automatically becomes positive. So the lowest value that this could ever have is 0. Because for example, if we had, let's say, -1, the absolute value of -1, that would become +1. Or let's say we had the absolute value of -100. Well, that would be +100. So the only values that the absolute value sign could produce are 0 or greater. So this absolute value could never be equal to -7. So in this case, we would say no solutions. So that's one to keep an eye out for. All right, thanks for watching.